Transport Fever 2 has catched me from the first try, and I can say that is much better than Transport Fever 1. It's more intuitive, more dynamic, and with better graphics. I like the gameplay, the effects, the visuals, the vehicles, the details, but you know, it's based on the same system like Transport Fever 1. They made a new game based on the same gameplay. I think here is room for more improvements, because the gameplay is the part that keeps you in the front of the computer. So I made a list, a wish list, with some improvements that can be added to the Transport Fever 2, making it more successful. And I want to share with you. And feel free to leave a comment below in the comment section. Competitors. The lack of competitors makes the game slightly boring, especially in the advanced stage when you are very well developed. The introducing of competitors will raise the gameplay experience, and the users will be pleased. It will be nice to have an option in the menu to add more rivals at the start of each gameplay. This will make the game more challenging, more realistic. Or maybe to extend that option to add competitors during the game, if you want, even to set up their difficulty. Season change, summer and winter. Another option that can make this game more realistic is adding the season change. Maybe it will be interesting to see blocked trains because of snow or traffic jams, or slower train because of bad or cold weather. That will bring another realistic side to Transport Fever 2. More transport type. Beside the fact that in the game are many transportation units and this makes the game more beautiful, here also is a room for improvement. One thing that is missing in Transport Fever 2 is the underground metro. In reality, all our cities have metro transportation, and that's why I think it should be added also in the game. Another transportation type that is largely spread, especially in Europe, are the trolley buses. That type of transportation is widely used here in Europe. So, if you are from here, I'm sure you heard about trolley buses. That buses that use external power grid for movement, same as the trams. Another good idea is to add taxi routes inside the cities with taxi stations. That can be an alternative to the classic transportation systems already present in the game. Any new transportation type is welcome in this game. More industries. Here is room for more, and more. How about to have a nuclear industry chain, for example to transport uranium ore to a nuclear plant or gold ore to a bank. Another industry chain example is to transport copper to a cable factory and the produced cables from there to an electronic factory and the produced goods to the cities. Just a few examples of how developers can add more interesting content to the game, making it more varied and more complex. Cargo delivery from station based on number of vehicles instead of line routes. I think here the options are divided. Now in the game the cargo is stocked at the station line and is loaded only separately on each line. Maybe an option in the game menu that can change the cargo load from transport lines to transport units will be perfect. The station will be full over time with many cargo crates, and each transport unit that arrives at the station, train or truck for example, can load the cargo already stocked in the warehouse in the station and deliver it to the final destination. more options in the cities. The cities are growing depending on how good they are supplied with goods or passengers. The gameplay will be more interesting if you can directly control the development of the city, like researching new buildings or researching new street types or new faster streets or new commercial zones and more ecological industries. Examples can continue on and on. Length of years. One thing that I observed since I started playing this game is that years are passing too quickly. Compared, for example, with Transport Tycoon, the old famous first transport simulator, the years in Transport Fever 2 are visibly shorter. This has a downside also, and I encountered since I played in sandbox and at higher difficulty. I was in 2033 and I still didn't have time and money to replace my old steam locomotives. The game maybe can become difficult after a while when new vehicles are researched and you struggle to survive with old, obsolete, less powerful, less reliable vehicles. Random events. Oh, come on, where is the real life? A transport simulation game without random events, it's like a cookie without sugar. More interesting random events like disaster can make the game more thrilling, more adrenaline demanding. For example, a factory that catched fire and you need to invest in reconstruction of it. Or another example, a pop-up window that informs you about a certain train that has just derailed somewhere in a tunnel and you need to replace it. Or some cargo was stolen from a hijacked truck. Or maybe to see vehicle breakdowns directly on the map. This is how it is in real life, and it should be also in Transport Fever 2, because it's a transport simulation game. Demand offer. Cities are the final destination for the finished products, and also for the passengers that are traveling between them. But cities can demand more, for example like an outstanding offer to sponsor you with the construction of a free train station in exchange to some passenger routes with another city. Another example is that the city needs more residents and offers you double transport prices if you connect it with another city via a transport line. Or the third example is a city needs a certain amount of tools or goods and offers you triple prices to fulfill this demand. This is how things should go and how can make you develop your transport route more easy even from the beginning of the game. Fluctuating economy. This is tricky because I see this as a switchable option on or off from the beginning of the game. If you want real life, that means you must stay related to the real world. A fluctuating economy is something that is missing in this game. Routes can be today very profitable, but in a few years because of an event or economy change, the route can become less efficient or inefficient. What you gonna do? Close it to save the money? Or you will wait for better times? It's your choice, it's your strategy. Price changes in transportation can make this game insane for some gamers. This can be a very challenging option, and I will be very pleased to see it developed and introduced in the game. In the end, overall Transport Fever 2 is very addicting game for those who like this kind of game. I am a very big fan of Transport Tycoon and Chris Xavier locomotion games. I played those two games months after months. I was captivated by their gameplay. Yes, now I have the same feeling with Transport Fever 2, because it's borrowing something from those old games, and that is a good thing and make this game very special. There, is always place for improvements, and I hope in the future maybe some of my ideas that I just explained before will be introduced in this game, making it more realistic and more challenging with even a better gameplay. Here is Gaming Hangar. Please subscribe to my channel and leave a comment about this video. I'm very interested in your opinion. Thanks for watching.